Hi, everybody, and welcome back for another week of Spanish with Profesor Arison. So this week we're starting chapter 4, which has a lot of really good and somewhat complex information. So this may be a little bit longer of a video, and we'll just see. My goal is to get through the whole thing without having to splice it at any certain point or getting cut off with my recording. So if I can keep my cats out of it and keep the screen recording without turning off, I will consider this to be a success. Most of all, though, I hope these videos are helpful to you and that you're taking something away to assist you in the online course with your learning. So as we get started, you can see here a screen with various places present. So you have el centro comercial, literally the commercial center or the mall. You have a parque over here, a nice little park. A tienda, a store. A mezquita, a mosque. A piscina, a pool. Of course, you have el hospital. We don't say el hospital, okay? El hospital because the H is silent. El teatro, the theater. La escuela, the school. La farmacia, the pharmacy. El supermercado, the supermarket. El banco, the bank. El correo, the post office. La iglesia, the church. Of course, you have an hotel here. El restaurante, the restaurant. Those are cognates, hotel and restaurant. El cine, the movie theater. And la discoteca, the discotheque. So you have all of these things all the way. You'll see these words in this chapter. You may ask to apply it in some ways, for example, by telling if these things are true or false. So number one, it says, En la playa compramos ropa. So la playa, I don't think that was back here on this page, but la playa is a beach. La playa is a beach. So in la playa, on the beach, compramos ropa. We buy clothes. Probably not. Hopefully, you already have your swimsuit by the time you get there, or if you're at a beach in Spain, all the beaches are topless. So, fun fact. Anyway, you probably do not buy clothes at the beach, so this is false. Number two, in la discoteca miramos animales. So in the discotheque, we look at or admire animals. We probably go to the zoológico if we want to mirar animales. We probably go to the zoológico, the zoo, not to the discoteca. Okay, so that's also false. But number three, nadamos en la piscina. We swim in the pool. Hey, now that sounds accurate. That would be cierto. That would be true. So I think you can handle those. Some practice here with some conversaciones to help you preparar un poquito para la entrevista final. So helping you prepare for the oral interview. Number one might ask you, ¿Cuál es tu supermercado favorito? And I could say, oh, I need to scoot that up. Sorry. I could say, mi supermercado favorito es Kroger. My favorite supermarket is Kroger. Okay, mi supermercado favorito es. Notice I don't say mi favorito supermercado because favorite is the adjective, which in Spanish comes after the noun. So you say my supermarket favorite, not my favorite supermarket, which is very backward for us. Number three, ask you, ¿Te gusta ir al cine? Do you like to go to the movie theater? And you could say, sí. If I can get my accent right, sí. Me gusta ir al cine. Or no, no me gusta ir al cine. Four, ask you if ¿Cuál es tu restaurante favorito? So what's your favorite restaurant? I can answer. And notice it says restaurant favorite because the adjective comes after the noun. So mi restaurante favorito es McAdoo's. Or mi restaurante favorito es Cheddar's. Or whatever you want to say. Okay? I think you guys can handle doing those. All right, so one of the biggest difficulties for students, especially in this chapter, we're talking about conjugating verbs, okay? But you've already done that. So we're taking this a step further to conjugate what we call irregular verbs in Spanish or stem changing verbs. So I wanted to take a moment and just review what you should already know from chapters 1, 2, and 3. So as you conjugate a regular verb, we have a verb like hablar, which you know means to speak or to talk. I conjugate hablar by taking off the AR, and then I hobble on down with the black here, the HABL. To say I talk or I speak, we say yo hablo. You talk or you speak. Tú hablas. Él, ella, usted habla. Nosotros hablamos. Vosotros habláis. Y ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. Okay, so you can see your endings here. It's very important that you remember these. If I were you right now, as you're watching, there's going to be a few moments during this presentation where I ask you to try something on your own or actually conjugate some of these weird stem changers on your own. So I'd like for you to go ahead and get out a pencil and paper and kind of follow along with me. So I want you to jot down on your paper, once you've gotten that ready, I want you to jot down these endings. They're in red, blue, and green. So for an AR verb, our normal endings are o, as, a, amos, ais, and an. For an ER verb, our endings for a normal verb are o, es, e, emos, eis, and in. So jot those down for me. And then for an IR verb, you have o, es, e, imos, is, and in. So notice the only difference in the ER and the IR are your nosotros and vosotros. Instead of EMOS, we have IMOS. Instead of E with an accent, IS, we have I with an accent, S for the IRs. So jot those down. You can always come back and reference this section of the video if you need to, but it's going to be helpful to you if you have those readily available for you. So with all these regular verbs, all we were doing, we were just taking off this AR, this ER, or this IR. We were just adding all of these endings. If for an AR verb, we were adding the red endings. For an ER verb, we were adding the blue endings. And for an IR verb, we were adding the green endings. Well, we're going to take this a little bit further with stem changing verbs. Okay, and there's 4 different types of stem changers you need to know about. We have verbs that change from E to IE, from E to I, and from O, it doesn't like the lowercase I, sorry, from O to UE, and from U to UE. So your 4 kinds of stem changers: E to IE, E to I, O to UE, and U to UE. So over here, again, we were just changing the ending, the AR, the ER, or the IR. We weren't messing with the stem. In this case, the stem was HABL for hablar, or COM for comer, or escribe for escribir. Those are my stems. So I call these stem changing verbs because now you're not only changing the ending, the AR, ER, and IR, you're also changing the stem. Here's an example. Look at the verb empezar. Normally, based on what you already know about empezar, you would probably go and say E-M-P-E-Z-O, E-M-P-E-Z-A-S, E-M-P-E-Z-A, E-M-P-E-Z-A-M-O-S, E-M-P-E-Z-A-I-S, and E-M-P-E-Z-A-N. That's what you would probably do without having any knowledge of stem changing verbs. Okay, however, I've told you that this is a stem changing verb and it changes from E to IE. Now, you're never going to change the first letter. So this particular word, empezar, which means to begin or to start, has 2 E's. There's one here at the beginning and one in the middle. You never change the E at the beginning of a word. You just don't. I'm sorry, I wish I had a better reason for you, but you just don't. The middle E here is going to be the one that changes. So you get empiezo, empiezas, empieza, and empiezan. So notice, this is kind of the weird part about this. It changes here in the yo form, in the tu form, in the el, ella, usted form, and in the ellos, ellas, ustedes form. It does not change here in the nosotros or the vosotros. And you're thinking, gosh, this is ridiculous. Why do we do this, right? Well, unfortunately, I don't have a reason. This is just how Spanish works. But I will give you some ways to hopefully remember this. So again, your E changes to an IE, never the first E, only the middle one here. So you get empiezo, empiezas, empieza, empezamos, empezáis, and empiezan. Now, my trick, how I always teach students to remember this, stem changing verbs in general, doesn't matter if you're talking about E to IE, E to I, O to UE, or U to UE. I've nicknamed these verbs boot verbs. This is how I learned Spanish 1 and 2. when I was younger. So I call these boot verbs. Okay, the E only changes to an IE, or the E only changes to an I, or the O only changes to UE, or the U only changes to UE when it's inside this boot. The stem change only occurs when inside the boot. So it's never going to stem change in the nosotros or the vosotros. It just stays an E in those cases. But everywhere else, your E changes to an IE, as you can see here in this diagram. So hopefully thinking about it as a boot helps you. There are a series of E to IE stem changing verbs that you're going to encounter this week. Here's a list. I will be posting a little cheat sheet for you with all the different stem changers, so you'll have that to reference. But just so you know, here are a variety of those stem changing verbs for you. The most common ones I would say are comenzar, empezar, pensar, entender, and preferir. You do use all of these, but most commonly in this class you're going to see those that I just mentioned. Okay, so we've talked about your E to I stem changing verbs. Now we're going to talk about your E to IE. But Mr. Harrison, this time there's still two E's. There's one here in the middle, and there's one at the end. Gosh, which one do I change? Well, you know that to conjugate querer, you're going to take off the ER anyway. So you're going to get QUER and QUER all the way down. You already know that that's going to happen. You know, because this is a boot verb, that it does not change in the nosotros or the vosotros forms. Okay, so in this case, you can go ahead and add your endings. When you take off your ER, you add back an O, an ES, an E, an EMOS, an EIS, and an EN. So you've already added your endings. If you don't remember, you can always consult up here again for an ER verb, what you're supposed to add in the blue. But now we've added our endings. Remember that querer stem changes from E to IE in every form that's in the boot. So everywhere except for the nosotros and vosotros. So when I conjugate, I get quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, querres, and quieren. Okay, so you can go through and conjugate these easily by changing your E to an IE. Querer means to want. Okay, so if you're old enough, you probably remember this video. It's a Taco Bell commercial which used the term querer. So I want to give you a moment just to watch this short little video, which I think you will enjoy.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. So I want Taco Bell. Yo quiero Taco Bell. So that's what you just heard in his statement. So yo quiero, I want Taco Bell. Notice also the dog that you saw there. I'll try to back it up here so you can see a picture. Anybody know what kind of dog this is? If you're saying Chihuahua, you're wrong. This is a Chihuahua. A Chihuahua. Okay, so be careful how you pronounce that. A Chihuahua. All right. Okay, we've talked about our E to IE stem changing verbs. I want you to give this a try. I've titled this Whiteboard Practice because I want you to actually, on your piece of paper that you got out earlier, go ahead and give this a try on your own. The verb pensar only has one E, so no tricks here, and I've told you that the E changes to an IE. Remember, this is a boot verb, so it only changes inside the boot. Please go ahead and pause me for a second and give this one a try. Okay, hopefully you ended up with something like this. Pienso, piensas, piensa, pensamos, pensáis, and piensan. Notice the verb does not change, your stem does not change from an E to an IE in the nosotros and vosotros forms because if you remember, those two are not inside the boot, whereas everything else was. So you should have this. The verb pensar means to think or to plan. So the activities you're going to be doing in your book look something like this. So it asks you, ¿Qué piensan hacer más tarde? What do they or what do y'all plan to do later? And it tells you using the verb tener, you should explain what these people plan to do later telling when and where. So it gives you in the model picture here, this is mi hermana, my sister. It gives you a time at 2:30, and she's just going to read a book there on the patio. So mi hermana piensa. We've conjugated pensar to the he or she form because my sister would be she. So mi hermana piensa, she plans to leer un libro, read a book, en el patio, on the patio, a las 2:30. So this is a picture of me down here. Yo! I actually don't have blonde hair or look like Fred from Scooby-Doo, but this is me. So yo, and to say that I plan to do something, I'm going to use the yo form of pensar, which would be pienso. Okay, so yo pienso, and it looks like I'm drinking coffee. Yo pienso beber café. Looks like I'm in the kitchen, en la cocina, or I could maybe be in the dining room, en el comedor. So I plan to drink coffee in the kitchen or in the dining room at 8 o'clock. Hopefully you remember from an earlier lecture on time that to say at a certain time, we say a las. Very good. So, yo pienso beber café en la cocina a las 8. I plan to drink coffee in the kitchen at 8. Unfortunately, I am a terrible caffeineaholic, and I have about 5 cups of coffee every day, starting my first one about 5 a.m. So, yo pienso beber café en la cocina a las 8 in this case. All right, so you're going to go through on number 2. You're going to say, my wife plans to, it looks like she's cooking dinner at 12 in the kitchen. So you can go through and conjugate all of those using pensar. Okay, we're going to talk more about another verb that stem changes, this time from O to UE, okay? So you've learned how these stem changers work, but I'll do this one for you, and then I'm going to give you a few to practice. So notice poder, it's an O to UE stem change. Gosh, Mr. Harrison, which O do I change? Well, there's only one here, so that helps us out. So I'm going to remove my ER, change my O to a U, and I get puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, podéis, and pueden. So my O has changed to a UE in every form except for the nosotros and the vosotros because those are not in the boot. So we get puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, podéis, and pueden. Okay. Some common O to UE stem changes you're going to see are the verbs costar, devolver, encontrar, llover, morir, poder, recordar, and soñar. So you have all of these here. Again, I'll be posting a cheat sheet of those. So if you're unsure of when a verb stem changes, by the way, you can always reference your vocab sheet at the end of the chapter. It'll give you, kind of like this has poder and in parentheses next to it, it has O to UE. Your vocab sheet will do that for you, and it will tell you when each verb is a stem changer. Okay, so the easiest thing to do, honestly, is just to memorize these so you know when you see them, they're going to be O to UE stem changers. So I want you to pause me for a moment. Go ahead and give the verb encontrar a try. Encontrar means to encounter or to find. Go ahead and give this a try. Okay, hopefully you ended up with something like this. Encuentro, encuentras, encuentra, encontramos, encontráis, and encuentran. So again, my O, the only O in the word here, changed to a UE everywhere except for the nosotros and vosotros because those are not in the boot. You get encuentro because you added your endings of o, as, a, amos, ais, and an. So encuentro, encuentras, encuentra, encontramos, encontráis, and encuentran. So all of these are O to UE stem changers. Here with volver, you can give this one a try also. Go ahead and pause me. All right, hopefully you ended up with vuelvo, vuelves, vuelve, volvemos, volvéis, and vuelven. So again, O changes to a UE everywhere except for the nosotros and vosotros. So I think you can handle those. In your activities this week, you're going to see some sentences like this, where I ask you, I'm going to show you a picture of something. This is a sombrero, a hat. It happens to be a sombrero negro, a black hat, and it tells you that it cost 35 euros. So the verb costar is a stem changer from O to UE. I've already conjugated it here for you to help you out a little bit. So questo, questas, cuesta, costamos, costáis, and cuestan. So you'll notice I've highlighted these in blue down here. Typically, you don't say I cost, okay? I hope you're not selling yourself. So typically, not I cost or you cost. Those are bad. Or we cost or y'all cost. Those are bad. Okay? But usually, we're going to say that it cost or they cost. So the singular form over here of cuesta would mean it cost, and the plural form, cuestan, would mean they cost. So you have to ask yourself, well, is the hat going to be it or them? Okay, well, the hat would be it, so I'm going to use cuesta. So I can start out my sentence, el sombrero negro, and I'm going to try to type this, el sombrero negro, to say it cost, again, cuesta, and it tells you 35 euros. To say 30, I say 30, and is y, 5 is cinco, and euros or euros. So el sombrero negro cuesta 35 euros. Okay, I think you guys can handle doing all of those together. Okay. I also might ask you to do something like this. So I'm using the verb poder. If you've forgotten how to conjugate poder, you can scroll back up to slide 14 and 15. So you get puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, podes, and pueden. I'm able to, you are able to, he or she is able to, we are able to, y'all in Spain are able to, or they are able to. So you can go through and conjugate all of those. Here, I've given you a few statements, and you're just telling me what someone is able to do or not able to do. So, number 6 says ir a bares. Ir is to go, and bares are bars. So to go to bars. So I am of legal drinking age, so I can say that yo puedo ir a bares. I can go to bars. But you guys, some of you all are just fresh out of high school. So you would say, I would say, ustedes, you all, no pueden ir a bares. Okay, so I've used the yo form of poder with puedo, conjugating O to UE, adding my O. So yo puedo ir a bares, I can go to bars. Ustedes, you all, no pueden, in the they or y'all form. Ustedes no pueden ir a bares. Or if we were in Spain, I would say that vosotros no podéis ir a bares. You all can't go to bars. Even though in Spain, the drinking age is 16, and therefore vosotros podéis ir a bares. So, you have some different options here. I think you can handle going through and doing all of those. One more stem changer that we have is the verb, or another type of stem changer that we have. We've talked about O to UE verbs. We've talked about E to IE verbs. We also have E to I stem changers. So repetir means to repeat. In this case, I have two E's. So here it's a matter of memorizing that the second E is the one that changes. In this case, my E changes only to an I, so I get repito, repites, repite, repetimos, repetís, and repiten. Notice this was an IR verb, so I added my IR endings of o, es, a, imos, is, and in. So when I took off my IR, I added those endings, and I just changed this E to an I. So repito, repites, repite, repetimos, repetís, and repiten. Some common IR verbs you're going to see in Spanish in general, but especially in this chapter, are competir, to compete, pedir, to ask for, also sometimes translated as to order, reír, to laugh, servir, to serve, and sonreír, to smile. Okay. So a verb like servir, to serve, I'd like for you to give this one a try. Remember, this is an E to I stem change. There's only one E here, the first one that you're changing. So go ahead and pause me and give this one a try, please. Okay, hopefully you ended up with something like sirvo, sirves, sirve, servimos, servis, and sirven. Notice again, the we and vosotros did not change because it's not in the boot. Everywhere else, my E changed to an I, and I added my IR endings. So sirvo, sirve, sirve, servimos, servis, and sirven. So hopefully you're getting the hang of those. The last stem changer I want to talk to you about is a U to UE stem change. And in this case, this is the only U to UE stem change in the Spanish language that I'm aware of. Jugar means to play, so you can jugar al béisbol, jugar al fútbol, you can play soccer or baseball, or al fútbol americano, you can play American soccer, or we would say football. So you have the verb jugar. I'm going to take off my AR and add my AR endings of O, as, a, amos, ais, and an. And my U changes to a UE everywhere except for the nosotros and the vosotros. So here I'm going to get juego, juegas, juega, jugamos, jugáis, and juegan. Okay, very good. Sometimes if you forget your stem change, if you forget to do the UDV thing, you get jugo here, which is juice. So you don't want to say I juice baseball. You want to say I play baseball. So be careful with that. All right. Um, moving on to our next grammar point. Remember, if at any point you need to stop and take a mental brain break, you're welcome to do that. But I'm just plunging on for you here. This is the verb estar. Estar is another way to say to be. You probably remember from earlier, we learned the verb ser as the verb for to be. And ser does mean to be. Also, estar means to be. We're going to talk about how to differentiate between these in our next video lecture, next chapter, chapter 5. For right now, I just want you to know that estar is another way to say to be, and it's typically used with expressions of place. Place. Okay, so the place is an acronym. The P in place stands for position. The L in place stands for location. The A stands for action. The C is condition, and the E is emotion. And I'm going to give you some examples of each of these in just a moment. But we use place to remember when to use estar. So when we're talking about where something is located or positioned, we're using estar, not ser. When we're talking about an action, like I am watching Lucifer on Netflix, or you are walking the dog, those ing words, those gerunds, those actions, we're typically using the verb estar rather than ser. When I'm talking about someone's condition, that she is pregnant. Okay, pregnant is a condition. You're not pregnant forever, hopefully. Ladies, you can agree that that would be painful. So, condition, you're using estar, not ser. And then emotion, when someone is sad or happy or worried or anxious or preoccupied, conditions and emotions, we're using estar. Okay, first let's talk about how to conjugate estar. Let's not get the horse in front of the buggy, or whatever that expression is. To say that I am, we say yo estoy. You are, we say tú estás. He or she is. Él, ella, usted está. Nosotros estamos. Vosotros estáis. Y ellos, ellas, ustedes están. So these are your various estar conjugations. You have some prepositions of place that are typically used here to talk about estar as well. So again, when I'm talking about something's position or location, I'm using estar. So to the right of, to the left of, near, on top of, below, inside of, behind, in front of, between, outside, far from, all of those. So you can see those here. In this chapter, you're going to be using these to describe the location of buildings and locations in a town or things in a house. And I'll give you some examples of those in just a minute. And I have a catchy little song to help you remember those. But first, let's go through each letter of our acronym of place. So I'm talking about something's position. So, el baño está al lado de mi clase. The bathroom is next to my class. I'm using a prepositional phrase here, al lado de, talking about position. So, el baño está al lado de mi casa. You never, ever, 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 ever say el baño es al lado de mi clase. That's just bad news bears. We cannot say el baño es. We say el baño está. So I'm talking about the bathroom's location. Here's another example. El lápiz, the pencil, está encima del pupitre. Notice de and el, in this case, went together to form del. Remember, your two vowels next to each other. So el lápiz está encima del pupitre. The pencil is on top of the desk. I'm talking about the pencil's position or the pencil's location. So I'm using el lápiz está encima del pupitre. I've given you some examples of location there. Actions are typically used with your ing words, and we'll learn more about how to formulate this special tense in chapter 5. But for now, I just want you to know that actions are talking about ongoing actions, and they're usually followed by a present participle, in which case you take off the AR and add ando, or take off the ER-IR and add iendo. We'll learn more about that next chapter. Don't worry about that. But you know when you see ando or you see iendo, that means ing in Spanish. Okay, so ando is ing for an AR verb, and yendo is ing for an ER or an IR verb. When you see those, you automatically know that you're going to use estar. So example, estoy lavando los platos sucios. I'm washing the dirty dishes. Washing is an action and it implies ing, so you know you're going to use an estar word. The estar word that goes with I should be estoy, and you say estoy lavando los platos sucios. Okay. You also can use estar with present participles in other ways when it's not an ing. So, for example, mi bisabuelo está muerto. So, my great grandfather is dead, muerto. So, I'm going to use the verb está because I'm conjugating this to he. Mi abuelo está muerto. Okay. Conditions as well. So, I'm tired, estoy cansado or cansada if you're a female. Mis niños están enfermos hoy. My kids are sick today. Mi padre está un poco loco. He's a little bit cray-cray, a little crazy. Mitchell está enamorado. Mitchell's in love. So you're using an estar word here conjugated to whomever your subject is because you're talking about conditions. And then emotions, estoy triste, I'm sad. Ella está enojada, she's angry porque tiene hambre. She's a little hangry or hungry. Enojada porque tiene hambre. So you can go through and practice those with estar. For now, you're mostly using it with position and location, but you'll see more of these examples in our next chapter. So all of these words, on top of, behind, in front of, across from, all of these are words of location, place, or position that always imply the use of the word estar. So for just a moment, I want you to take a moment and watch this very, very corny, terrible video, but it will get stuck in your head. It will help you remember these words. So take a moment and listen to these.
Words of location style. Words of location style. Delante de, in front of, detrás de, behind. 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 Encima de, on top of, debajo de, underneath. 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 Al lado de is next to, al lado de is next to, al lado de is next to you. Al lado de is next to, al lado de is next to, al lado de is next to you. Al lado de, al lado de, al lado de. Words of location style. Words of location style. Aquí is here, allí is there. 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 Delante de, in front of, detrás de, behind. Encima de, on top of, debajo de, underneath. Al lado de is next to, aquí is here, allí is there. Al lado de is next to, aquí is here, allí is there.
Okay, and it continues on and on and on, but it is a great way to get all of these things in your head and make sure you know those words of location. So you might have some estar practice like this week where I give you number one, it says yo blank in Lima. So I'm saying I blank in Lima. I am in Lima. I'm talking about my location or position. I'm going to use estar. The yo form of estar should be estoy. Okay. Number two, it says usted blank in San Jose. You formal are in San Jose. If you look back up for the usted form, the usted box, this is bottom left one, it should be usted está in San Jose. So I think you can go through and handle those. Okay. I might ask you where something is located. ¿Dónde está whatever? So the example you see here is ¿Dónde está el café? Where's the cafe? And you can see it's right here. As I'm describing the cafe, I'm going to say, oh, it's right next to the bookstore. El café está al lado de is next to. El café está al lado de la librería. It's right next to the bookstore. Okay. You might say, and let's see if it'll let me top on top of this. I'm going to scooch this down. Here we go. number 1 is talking about el banco. So I could say that el banco está, it is located, I'm using estar, not el banco está, and it's next to the pharmacy, al lado de la farmacia. Boom, okay? You're going to be doing some sentences like that this week. The second part of your chapter talks about vocabulary related to a house. So you see all these different words, and this is one of my favorite things to teach. So I'm going to make this bigger so you can see here. So starting with, this is a weird layout of a house. Let's all just take a moment to appreciate that. So over here you have el garaje, the garage, and you can see a coche is there in the garage. You see here a cocina, a kitchen. In the kitchen you have el fregadero, the sink, la estufa, the stove, el horno, the oven, and el refrigerador, the refrigerator. So you have all of those words in the kitchen. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Over here you see el comedor, the dining room. Inside of the, and remember, comer is to eat. Remember that you comer en el comedor. You eat in the dining room. Comer en el comedor. That might help you remember that. Down here on the floor of the dining room, you have an alfombra, a rug. Over here, there's a lámpara, a lamp. Up top, you have a dormitorio, which literally looks like a dormitory or a bedroom. There are other words for bedroom in Spanish. You can say el dormitorio. You can say la habitación, or habitation, literally, la habitación. Or you could say el cuarto, just a room. So in the bedroom, you have la cama, the bed, el armario, the closet, a mesita de noche, a nightstand, a little night table, and then over here, a lámpara again. Okay. Over here in the middle, you have a patio, and in the patio, in the back, there's a jardín, which looks like garden. Jardín can refer to a garden or to a yard. Native speakers of Spanish will also sometimes say yarda, la yarda. So you have plantas, and a fuente, en el patio, con un árbol, y un jardín, all kinds of cool stuff here. Over here, you have la sala, the living room. In the living room, you have a mesita, a little table. We might say a coffee table, a mesita. You have an alfombra on the floor, a rug. Over here, a planta, a window, la ventana, a little painting, el cuadro, and then el sillón, an armchair. I don't know about you, in my family, we do not say el sillón. I'm going to go relax in the armchair and watch Netflix. You might say I'm going to go relax in the recliner, el sillón. So up top, you have the only bathroom of the house. Like I said, this is a very strange layout because you want to walk from your bedroom across the terrace over here to the bathroom. Very strange. Anyway, and I don't see any stairs, but it's whatever. Oh, wait, here are the stairs. Just kidding. I'm going to stop talking. Okay, over here, el baño. Inside of the baño, you have la bañera, the bathtub, la bañera. You have a ducha. La ducha is the shower. You have an espejo, a mirror. El lavabo, the bathroom sink. Notice there are 2 words for sink. You have a fregadero, which is a kitchen sink, and a lavabo is a bathroom sink. Hanging up here, you have a toalla, a towel. Of course, you have the toilet, el inodoro. And the last thing that I want to point out is that in Spanish culture, well, first of all, here in the U.S., we might say, oh, this is the first floor, and this is the second floor, right? So, primer piso, segundo piso. In Spanish-speaking culture, it's different. They call this the ground floor, la planta baja, and then if there was a basement, we would call that el sótano. But they refer to this as the ground floor and this as the first floor. Okay, so el primer piso. So if you're ever studying abroad and you go, to Spain or something, and you have an apartment complex that they're letting you stay in, if they tell you the first floor, they're not talking about this bottom floor, the ground floor. They're saying go up one, what we would refer to as the second floor. So a little bit different there. So your activities for this week might ask you, ¿en qué habitación? There's that word again. In what room of the house están los siguientes muebles? So number 1 says el horno. So in what room is the oven? El horno. So hopefully you're saying the oven is in la cocina. But I can't just say el horno, la cocina, the oven in the kitchen. I need to say the oven is in the kitchen. It's located in. And you know when we're talking about location or position, we use the verb estar. Good. So I should say el horno está en la cocina. Number 2, el sillón, the armchair. El sillón está, it is, in la sala, it's in the living room, so on and so forth. One of the last things that you're going to see in this chapter are talking about interrogative words like como, cuando, donde, a donde, de donde, por qué, quién, qué, cuál, cuántos, cuánto. So you get all of these lovely question words, and the best way to remember all of these awesome words is through use of an annoying song, which will help you. You can choose to memorize them, but I am going to give you this annoying song to help you remember these words, to the tune of Jingle Bells.
To where, cuáles, which ones, a qué hora, at what time vamos a comer, at dónde, to where, cuáles, which ones, a qué hora, at what time vamos a comer. Hey, por qué, why, cuándo, when, qué, what, dónde, where, cuánto, how much, cómo, how, quién, means who is there. Hey, por qué, why, cuándo, when, qué, what, dónde, where, cuánto, how much, cómo, how, quién, means who is there. A dónde, to where, cuál, which, cuáles, which ones, de quién, of whom, con quién, with whom, vamos a correr. A dónde, to where, cuál, which, cuáles, which ones, de quién, of whom, con quién, with whom, vamos a correr. ¡Ey! ¿Por qué, why, cuándo, when, qué, what, dónde, where, cuánto, how much, cómo, how, quién, means who is there. ¡Hey! ¿Por qué, why, cuándo, when, qué, what, dónde, where, cuánto, how much, cómo, how, quién, means who is there.
Okay, so you can see all of these summarized here on this page. Por qué means why, cuando, when, qué, what, donde, where, cuánto, how much, cómo, how, and quién, who is there. Okay, so you can see all of these organized here for you. I have taught classes that love this and want to sing along, and I've taught other classes that are like, dude, I just want to memorize these, leave me alone. So either way, I'm giving you that as a resource so that you can have it, you can memorize them, you can sing your song, whatever helps. Either way, you're going to have to use them in context. So I'm going to give you a question like, ¿Cómo es la casa? You know that como from before means how. So, ¿Cómo es la casa? How is the house? You can answer with A, 1. B, there's a stove and a refrigerator. C, she has a new job in another city. D, it's small but comfortable. E, a mom with her 2 kids. Or F, it's downtown. So how is the house? The best answer is probably going to be, it's small but very comfortable. So letter D. So I think you can handle those. And then we're going to put it all together. So you see everything. All the different stem changers are here. Estar is here, so you get to conjugate some things. So I'm going to do a couple for you. So number 1, toda la familia, the whole family. Estar en casa hoy, the whole family is at home today. To say the family or it is at home. Notice family is singular in Spanish. So we're going to use that he, she, or it box, the él, ella, usted box. So toda la familia está en casa hoy. The whole family is at home today. Está en casa hoy. Number 2, mi esposa y yo blank en la cocina. My wife and I are in the kitchen. To say we are, we would use the nosotros form of estar, which should be estamos. Mi esposa y yo estamos en la cocina. Okay, hop down to number 4. We always eat lunch at this hour, and today I blank prepare unos sándwiches. Yo blank preparar unos sándwiches. I plan to prepare some sandwiches. So the yo form of pensar, my e is going to change to an ie, so I get piens, and then I'm going to take off my ar, and for the yo form add back an o, so I would get yo pienso preparar unos sándwiches. Okay, so please go through and do these activities. I hope these videos are helpful to you. At any rate, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I am considering this video a huge success. One, because my cat stayed out of it. And two, because we did not get cut off at any point. So hopefully you're enjoying these. Let me know if you have questions. Have a good week, everybody.